Good morning, my front wheel skids. It's Johnny holds a bit of blue tack. Why do I do that? I've got to have something in my hand. It's because I can't get me fucking old bill out on fucking camera. Mate, that's the inner porn star coming out. Anyway, good morning, my front wheel skids. How are we? Let's not talk about the cartel. Let's talk about the middlemen. The go-betweens. The ones in the middle. All the little content creators that's caught in the middle that have gone absolutely parasocial with a larger content creator. Right, where do we start? I started noticing it ages ago when someone said to me, can I give you some constructive criticism? Now, I've had this a few times on YouTube, right? So if you think this video is about you because you've said the actual words and you've remembered them, it's not just you. There's quite a lot of people who said to me, can I give you some constructive criticism, right? I've been on the outskirts of the music industry looking at my friends for years. Now they're nowhere. They're all working in fucking shite jobs. None of them have made it in the music industry, right? But you know what I noticed is that they fell foul to listening to people when they said, let me give you some constructive criticism. Gatekeeping 101. No one can tell you how to fucking act or what you do. So they fell foul of someone saying, this is how you got to act, this is what you got to play, this is the style that you want to play. They followed the formula and they fell down at the first hurdle, ain't got nowhere, because they've been fed false information. They've been fed a formula that is not going to work, because there's hundreds of groups and musicians who fall foul of that first hurdle. The very first thing that you've got to remember on YouTube, entertainment industry, is to do things the way you're doing them, in the most authentic way, be real about it and believe in what you're doing, right? But what you see on YouTube now is these people who have followed the formula of the larger channels, right? And now they've invested their emotional self into these larger channels because they've probably got trauma. They've probably had their wife left them. They're probably in a relationship difficulty. And what's happened, because that other content creator has either platformed them or had them on their show or phoned them up or texted them, they've got this acceptance. Someone's accepted them. So they have emotionally invested themselves into this larger channel, persona, content creator or whatever. And then, because they've done that, they feel the need to have a pop at a smaller channel in a passive-aggressive way. Either say it in their chat. I've been in a chat before now where I've just gone in, just as a viewer, had my fucking 2 pennies worth about the fucking football team this week, and they've turned the narrative round to a video that I've done and said, oh, you can't say that about that person. Oh, we don't want none of that on our channel. I didn't never mention it. I didn't mention anything about on another channel. I didn't type in the comments, so-and-so's a wanker. But you felt the need as a content creator to gatekeep. Now, you don't realise that social media, with the invention of social media, and any geezer with an iPhone can go on social media and have an opinion, that gatekeeping has been diluted. You can't gatekeep no more, because the minute you gatekeep, it's highlighted into this, it's magnified, because it don't happen no more. But you're emotionally invested in this larger content creator. And this is where I feel that there's a lot of mental health going on. Because you keep telling me, a lot of channels keep saying it, you've got to respect everyone's opinions. Yeah. But you're not. It's like an hypocritical side, isn't it, to YouTube with these middle of the road content creators. You know, the ones that come out every week and do the formula. Oh, I've got to go on. I've got to do a breakfast show. I've got to do a show at 5 o'clock. I've got to do this. They put the pressure on themselves because they're following the formula of what this other content creator's got, because they've listened to advice, which is totally wrong advice. You know, even the other day, someone said to me, "Do you know the advice that someone else told me? You got to do this, you got to do this, and you got to do this. Follow them 3 bits of advice, and you will grow your channel." I've got no problem with you taking advice, but at the same time, the only bit of advice you really needed was do things the way you want to do things. Don't listen to other people. You know what I mean? And this middle of the road content creators, this is what they're not doing. This is why you're getting, as a viewer, you're getting exactly the same show as everybody else. Celebrity squares, celebrity squares, celebrity squares. We're all doing it. They're all doing it. You don't really get me doing celebrity squares on my channel. You know what I mean? Mind you, I do appear on LJ's channel, which we've got a bit of a celebrity square thing going. You know what I mean? But sometimes I keep it real. Sometimes I don't go on due to real life. You know, I don't put pressure on myself to say, oh, the old fucking house has got to keep quiet. I'm going on YouTube, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Because it keeps LJ's channel fresh. You know, sometimes he has someone else on there. Sometimes he has someone else on there. But you don't see him on any other show. So it's fresh. He's doing something that he wants to do. He's not listening to any advice. The only advice that I've given LJ is just do what you want to do. Just keep it real. Just do what you want to do. You know what I mean? And he's not even asked advice, and I've not even given him advice like that. But all I keep saying is your channel, Lou. It's your channel, Lou. You do what you want to do, Lou. He'll tell you exactly the same thing what I've just said. That's what Johnny says. I don't say, oh, Lou, you've got to do this, you've got to do that, you've got to do that. Mate, but these little content creators who are stuck in the middle, who have emotionally invested their fucking time into being parasocial, following the formula, they seem to want to gatekeep. And I'm not understanding why they want to gatekeep. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5 people in about 10 months who's tried to gatekeep me, phoning me up and saying, oh, you shouldn't have really said that. You should leave that one alone. Leave this one. Look, mate, leave me to do what I do. You know, I'm not like yous fighting for subs. I'm not like yous fighting for views. I'll just get it off my chest and telling like-minded viewers like myself that highlighting the world of YouTube, the world of Spurs YouTube, you know, on video, documenting a little journey into YouTube. I feel like I've gained clarity in the past 6 or 7 months regarding all the different sorts of people on YouTube. And do you know what? The bigger content creators seem to have not gained the clarity that I've got, even though they've been doing it a long while. The middle of the road ones have got an ego bigger than the people that they're being parasocial with. And the smaller ones ain't got an ego. They're just doing it real, mate. Just doing it real, plodding along, doing their own thing real. And they don't care about the rest of them without being told. So them ones that are just carrying on, keeping real, doing the authentic thing, doing what they want to do, they're the ones doing YouTube right. The middle of the road ones are just copying the formula off of their parasocial, whoever they look up to. And the ones on top of that, who have got these larger channels, they don't give a monkeys about you. They don't give a monkeys about you, bruv. All they give a monkeys about is their little payday, their earnings, and this is fair enough because that's their channel, mate. They're working at it. But they don't need these little parasocial hangers-on riding on the coattails. But then again, they do need them. Because sometimes you need a parasite to keep your content fucking fresh. You know, you got to invite some parasites on once in a while, you know, to have a fucking discussion and a debate. Even though they got nothing, they don't talk real talk. They just say what you want to hear. And as a larger channel, you probably think to yourself, we'll get this one on because he sparks the audience off. We'll get this one on because he sparks the audience off. We'll get this one on because we can make a fucking fool out of him and he'll keep coming on week after week. It's YouTube, mate. Everyone's a user. Everyone's a fucking user in one way or another. I like to think of myself that I'm not a user. It's just real talk. It's just authentic. Couldn't give a fuck about subscriber rates. Couldn't give a fuck about viewers. Couldn't give a fuck about retention. Couldn't give a fuck about whatever. Don't give a monkeys, bruv. You know, I'll just get it off my chest as the way I see it. And that's the way I'm seeing YouTube at the minute. I'm seeing the middle ground content creators they're a lot more aggressive than the larger ones. Because the larger ones, they don't seem to be that aggressive. They just want to plod along and grow their channel, blah, blah, blah. It's the middle ones. It's always the middle ones in society that have got the math. They've got parasocial they've got delusions of grandeur. They have got delusions of grandeur. You know what I mean? They think they can talk forever in front of a camera and it just gets stale. They've got no free-minded opinions. It's the same old when it comes to football. When we all see football with a different set of fucking eyes, bruv. You know? I mean, look at it this week. Fucking my mate fucking from Australia, Paul, see last week's game in a totally different light to how I see it. All right? So I'm chatting to him. He absolutely thought it was positive, that game. Right? I come at it from a different view. Mate, I went on Lou's channel last night. Fuck me. I was negative as fuck. You know what I mean? Absolutely negative. It takes me about, I can tell you honest to God, it takes me about 72 hours to get over a loss. It takes me about 48 hours to get over a draw. Right? And celebrating a win keeps me high for the week. So I like to celebrate a win. So I've got bipolar type 2. So when we draw or lose, I seem to go on the negative side. But at the same time, you've got to look at reality. And the reality of of Tottenham at the minute is Vicario ain't all that. Romero, mate, he just turns himself off in some games. The defence looks like they're a pile of shit half the time. The midfield without Sarr looks absolutely fucking diabolical, especially if Bergvall has a bad game. You're bigging up all these new transfers that we've got in. Oh, mate. And they've not really done much. And this is just my take on it. You know what I mean? Don't slag off Tell or Odeberg because I'm afraid of their mental health. I'm afraid that they'll feed into it and then they'll go down the pan. I seem to think that if they got a couple of goals in between them, they'd be all right. They'd be bouncing off each other each game. Someone had a pop at Kudos the other day, and I seem to think the same as Kudos, as that content creator who said he's like Kulizeski 2.0. You know exactly what he's going to do, and you do. You know, they put two men on him, and that's it. 2 men on him, the game's done, bruv. He don't think outside the box. This is why I thought we needed creative fucking elite players. You know? And then you got someone in the comments saying, well, what creative elite players? Well, I don't fucking know. I'm not a football fucking expert. I don't pretend to know every player in every league. Like a lot of people sit there with an iMac next to them. What players are available? What's the best static players? I'm going to say this name, that name, and this name, and that name. And they're all names we're never going to get. You know? That's football. That is football. Football 101, bruv. Remember when I was fucking 10, fucking 11? You know what I mean? If you'd have told me fucking 20 players out the Italian league, I'd have just looked at you and thought, nah, bruv, I only watched Tottenham. Now I've got a bit older, I watch fucking football all weekend. I watch the filth. You know? Try not to watch the Rent Boys. Watch a bit of West Ham if they're not on at the same time as a Crystal Palace or a big team. But I watch all the football, the big teams. Don't mean I know every fucking player in that team, bruv. I'm watching the actual football, the actual player of the football. Couldn't give a fuck about your name. I'm watching whether you're good. And if you are a good player, maybe the name will shoot out to me. You know what I mean? Like McAllister, Van Dijk's. The ones that we all fucking speak out, you know what I mean, to each other about, oh, I'd like him in our squad because I feel like he'd do well. Mate, but I'm not a 2-eye Mac wanker, you know? I'm not a 2-eye Mac wanker. I don't pretend to be a 2-eye Mac wanker. But that formula of these content creators, the middle-of-the-road content creators now, they've turned into 2-eye Mac wankers. You know, they're sitting there in front of a computer and got their mic on them, aren't they, like that, you know what I mean? They're all fucking, I know everything about football. I'll go on Talk Sport and talk waffle, jabber, bunny. And it's all bollocks. It's all fucking second-hand shit. Absolute second-hand shit. I'd much rather go to listen to someone who's got a really positive outlook on Tottenham than a negative outlook. Only because they've only got a negative outlook is because they're fucking feeding off the fucking parasocial shitheads in the fucking comments. And these people come back time and time again for an argument because they're keyboard warrior syndrome. So you've got parasocial, middle of the road content creators, fucking all being passive aggressive, not saying no names. You've got to have constructive criticism. Then you've got parasocial wankers in the fucking chat who are so emotionally invested in the fucking content creator they're watching. They feel the need to go and fucking vilify other smaller content creators. Well, you're just jealous. You're just jealous. Oh, bruv, I'm beyond jealousy, mate. Fucking, I'm beyond every human emotion, I think. When it comes to YouTubers and I'll sit there and watch a program or I'll read the comments or I think to myself, I have only got to go in a channel, type a comment, type one comment. Even if that parasocial arsehole agrees with my comment, they won't agree with my comment because they're so emotionally invested in either the channel that they've been commenting on, or they're a parasocial other content creator and they're invested in the formula, the genius formula of one of these bigger content creators. So they feel the need to change their agenda. Instead of saying, oh yeah, I agree with you, I don't like you though. I'd rather you say that. I'd rather you say that than be fucking passive aggressive and just bullshit yourself. Because you're going to absolutely bullshit yourself into a corner. You know? Anyway, that's my waffle on today. I've had 20 minutes. The wife ain't home yet. My older one's not well upstairs in bed. And, yeah, have a good day. Take care. Baked potato. Spurs YouTube. We're all wankers. Well, I like to think of myself on the nicer side of being a wanker. You know what I mean? Have a good day. And I'm not jealous. Yeah. If I was jealous, I'd admit it. The only thing I am jealous about is I'm jealous of these bastards who's got a Marshall JCM 800. All right. And a guitar lead that don't go click, 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 fucking click when I'm trying to record a video. That's what I am jealous of. I'll admit that. Other than that, I'm an happy little bunny.